You are listening to Confessions of a Counselor podcast with Janice, mental health in bite-sized chunks. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Confessions of a Counselor. I'm your host Janice, and in today's episode I thought we would talk about a client. We'll name him Harrison, and this is the journey of kind of self-discovery. So this is a client that came in and is looking for that self-exploration, is unsure and questioning life and what's going on, and so this is the therapeutic journey of exploration and looking for answers within themselves. So Harrison came into session again many years ago, and we did a couple of sessions together. We worked through a transition period in their life and helped him kind of get back on his feet and discover what it is that he needed to kind of transition through going from being in school to being in the workforce. So he transitioned through that and was kind of questioning his mood and his emotions, but felt pretty stable at the time. So he left therapy, and I didn't see Harrison for many years. And then he resurfaced back into my practice many years later, and had gone through a really awful breakup, which had kind of led him to questioning what was going on. And so Harrison was questioning and unsure, and really kind of went into a darkness. And through this exploration and coming to therapy, he was very committed to the work, and so this client was really exploring what was going on internally and asking questions and being inquisitive while in this very dark place. And so we worked together, questioning and reframing and asking more questions, and then reframing again and finding answers and changing the answer and continuing on throughout this time. And this client, when they came back into session, was coming in twice a week to talk about things and question, and was unsure how to make it from session to session without kind of talking to me and grounding. And as time went on, we were able to push sessions to once a week, and he was finding coping skills and finding coping techniques and reframing and learning self-acceptance and self-love, that we were able to push things to once a week and eventually to every 2 weeks. And as time went on, this client really started to appreciate and understand himself and what he was going through, and come to this place of self-acceptance. So it was a really interesting journey to see how a client can go through that dark period and find some support and slowly come out of that. So again, this wasn't a short journey. This wasn't something that just kind of clicked overnight, but it was years of talking and reframing and finding answers and changing what the answer might be, and eventually kind of coming to this place of self-acceptance just as they were. So this was a really interesting journey, and one that I really appreciate to show up to, because of the commitment and the work that the client put in, that Harrison put in, to continuing to ask those questions, continuing to show up to therapy, and continuing to seek that support, and to ask the questions and to listen to the answers and take that feedback on. So this is a really interesting client to see come into my therapy practice. Okay, so I hope that helped you and kind of shows another type of client that can come into therapy. Until next time, take care. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Confessions of a Counselor podcast is available anywhere you like to listen to your podcast, both on Apple and Android. New episodes will be released every Friday. If you enjoyed this podcast, please feel free to join the conversation. Leave a review or subscribe to the podcast hosted on the Anchor app. All these details can be found at janicelyons.com. Until next time, take care.